Primary power offline. Hyperdrive offline. Multiple hull breaches detected. Proximity alert. The Ebon Hawk is adrift in space after a terrible battle. Most of its crew are dead or dying. You lie in the medical room in critical condition. You won't survive long without medical attention. The hyperdrive is damaged. Main power must be restored in order to bring the engines online and dock with the nearby Paragus mining station for much-needed repairs. Your fate and that of the Ebon Hawk depend upon T3M4, a lone astromech droid. Return to this location at any time to skip the prologue.
Still examining the survivors of the damaged freighter. Looks like it goes by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Only one survivor, placed in the kotor tank for recovery. The carbon scoring on the vessel suggests it was in a battle, but no indication of who fired on it. Couldn't get much from the Nava computer. I'm surprised the ship was able to... Aside from the lone survivor, we recovered an old woman. No life signs. There was also a protocol droid and a utility droid on board. Sent both down to maintenance while security sorts through the other items on the ship. It looks like the utility droid, a T3 unit, was able to get the ship working enough to get to the colony. We're prepared to...
Find what you're looking for amongst the dead. I am Kreia, and I am your rescuer, as you are mine. Tell me, do you recall what happened? Your ship was attacked. You were the only survivor, a result of your Jedi training, no doubt. Your stance, your walk tells me you are a Jedi. Your walk is heavy. You carry something that weighs you down. So it would seem. Keep your past and let us focus on the now. I do not know. I was removed from the events of the world as I slept. A survey of the surroundings may provide the answers we seek. The ship we arrived in must still be in this place. We should recover it and leave. We were attacked once, and I fear our attackers will not give up the hunt so easily. Without transport, weapons, and information, they will find us easy prey indeed. Even as I slept, I felt much unrest here. I saw strange visions, minds colored with fear. Now, everything here feels terribly silent. I would find out as much as you can about this place quickly. I fear we will need to depart as suddenly as we arrived. You may wish to extend your... I do not know. Why did they spare you? Indeed, a Jedi trance could protect one from such poisons. In fact, the sedatives may have been intended to keep you unconscious for some time. It would prove lethal to those untrained in such techniques, however. Most curious. I leave you to the explorations of this place. Here I will remain and attempt to... Yes? What? I do not know. Very well.
Emergency lockdown is in effect. Emergency lockdown overridden. Emergency lockdown is in effect. Turbolifts have been sealed to contain the explosion.
this thing on? All right, all hands, especially you, Kotor, listen up, because I'm not gonna say this again. The next one of you Juma heads to try and smuggle a blaster, or so help me, any sort of military-grade frag weapons into my facility is gonna take a long walk out the airlock. Why? Because in case you forgot, Paragian fuel explodes at high temperatures. That's what blasted that chunk out of Paragus 2 and created this asteroid field. So if I catch any of you with anything other than sonic charges or mining lasers, I'll burn you and your contract. Security out. And according to one of the miners, it was because one of the sonic charges went off prematurely. And like before, it was one set by a mining droid. The three idiots were grouped so close to the charge it might as well have been a grenade going off. The blast turned their bones to dust. The blast wrecked the internal components of the droid that set the charge, though, so we can't even dissect it to see what happened. I don't like what's going on here. Ever since that Jedi showed up, things are getting worse. It's not just Kotor and his miners, or the fights, but now the droids are acting crazy. If we don't find what's causing this, or who, this facility's gonna be space dust by the time the next Telos freighter arrives. I secured the stealth field generator inside one of the footlockers in the security storage room. If I have the specs right, the interface field should be effective against the droid's sensors. All I need to do is equip the belt, and some skill with stealth in order to use it. As long as I don't get too close to the droids, if any more droids start malfunctioning, the belt should buy me enough time to get to the I'd rather shut them down than destroy them. I want to find out how these droids are being sabotaged. Maybe even turn them against whoever's sabotaged. And according to one of the miners, it was because So, you're in maintenance. Then maybe you can tell me what's going on.
Sir, I don't know. It's like their behavior cores are undergoing binary decay, but I can't find the source.
Well, you better give me some answers. I want to know the damage these droids can do if they start mining us and...
Sir, these droids aren't combat models. Their mining lasers are weaker and less accurate than blasters. I doubt those droids could even hit one of us.
Are you blind? What about the miners in Medbay? It's sabotage. So I want you to find...
Yes, sir.
Idiot. I installed an override switch to... Has added insurance. I doubt whoever's responsible won't be able...
Be careful. There is much energy in the room beyond, yet it stems from nothing that lives. Can you not sense them? Reach out. Cast aside your sight. Cast aside what you see, and instead reach out with your perceptions. Ah, you can feel them. The droids you cannot perceive, but the small oscillations of energy, that you can feel, echoing outwards. You hear it. It is fate. It is the Force you feel. It has not been so long as for you to forget. Do not turn away from it. Listen. Feel it echoing within you. Come. I shall guide you down the familiar paths. You will need it if we are to survive. Yes? Ah, yes. It may be that our proximity during our... We seem to be able to speak without speaking. Then hope that we have little to say to each other. Beyond this door, someone yet lives. Be mindful. But you have nothing to fear from this one.
Nice outfit. What, you miners change regulation uniform while I've been in here? Atten Rand. Excuse me if I don't shake hands. The field only causes mild electrical burns. Security claimed I violated some trumped-up regulation or another. Take it up with them if you want. But they stopped listening to me shortly before they stopped feeding me. Now that's criminal. Oh, you mean you didn't come here on purpose? I'm shocked. I really am. This slice of paradise is the Paragus mining facility, the only supplier of shipping-grade engine fuel to this corner of the galaxy. Paragus fuel plays havoc with engines, but it gets the job done. As long as you don't mind the toxic byproducts and trying to mine it without blowing yourself up. Yeah, this asteroid belt is one giant minefield. One proton torpedo, even a stray blaster shot, can start an explosion that'll make the one that shattered Paragus 2 look like a kid's pop detonator. You know the planet with the exposed core you saw flying in? That hole was caused by the first mining station that tried to siphon fuel off the planet. Blew a whole chunk out of the planet and set it drifting out here in a big clump of fuel-cooled asteroids. So the miners drill the asteroids now, not the planet's surface. That's why they don't allow blasters here. Can't trust a miner jumped up on Juma juice not to fire one stray shot that'll turn the entire colony into a thermal detonator. You mean before or after that Jedi showed up? Either. You see, this Jedi shows up, and you know what that means. Where there's one Jedi, the Republic will soon be crawling up your ion engine in no time. But the story gets better. See, some of the miners get it into their ferrocrete skulls that since the Jedi's unconscious, they can collect the bounty the exchange has posted for live Jedi. Well, what passes for the law here didn't like that idea. Then there was some big explosion, and then I was sitting here for a long time, waiting for some half-naked miner to show up and ask a bunch of questions. Don't know much about it. Maybe the exchange wants one as a trophy, or somebody's got something against Jedi and is looking to... Not many Jedi left. Wouldn't surprise me if the bounty's pretty high. The ones that weren't killed in the Jedi Civil War ended up switching off the lightsabers long ago. Word is there's not even a Jedi Council anymore, but who knows? Yeah, Revan, Malak, and the Jedi that went to join them in the Mandalorian Wars. They turned against the other Jedi and had a scrap that almost laid waste to the galaxy. Where have you been? Well, I wasn't there, but like all Sith, Revan and Malak turned on each other. After they turned on the Jedi, of course. Well, that was the story. But whatever happened there must not have lasted. There was some big civil war on Korriban. Knocked that academy to the ground. Looks like Revan's grand crusade finally consumed her. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just hoped Revan was a woman. Look, no offense or anything, but your weird half-naked interrogation isn't my idea. Hey, wait a minute. You're that Jedi the miners... The miners can't all be gone. But if they are... Look, hey, let me out and I can help you. I can. This facility isn't a military installation, which means we may have a chance. You shut down this cell security field and I can reroute the emergency system so we can get to the... Huh? What are you talking about? So you done interrogating me, or are we gonna work together and try to get out of this? Great. Now to business. Let's get to... Alright, here we are. Now this console is set on automatic hail. You may have heard it when you came in. The asteroid drift charts are constantly being updated, so it sends out a transmission to incoming vessels so they don't get crushed into space dust. The hail warns them to keep their distance until orbital drift charts are transmitted, and then provides docking instructions to incoming ships, usually freighters. Thing is, you can bounce that same transmission back to the comm here, and suddenly you've got access to the communication system from... Pure Pazak. The console's ours. Now, all we need to do is reactivate the turbo lifts, cancel the emergency lockdown. Hey! This system's been severed from the main hub, after it was locked down from remote. You can't even reroute the system, it's been cut clean. No. Someone tried to lock down this whole level tight, and leave us here. Trapped. I doubt it. All we have is communications back. For all the good trying to shout in a vacuum will do us. Be my guest.
Tracked the freighter in. Was lucky it wasn't destroyed when it drifted into the asteroid field. Not much on board. One damaged droid, one annoying protocol droid, and a lot of bodies. Sent the survivor to medical and the others to the morgue. Didn't recognize the ship's ID code, so we transmitted it to the Republic for some answers. Questioned the protocol droid about what happened. Says his master, the survivor, I guess, was on the Republic ship the Harbinger when it suffered an engine failure. He says the survivor was a passenger on the vessel and a Jedi. If so, that's gonna mean true. Inventoried the bodies and cargo. Everything matches the protocol droid's story. The T3 droid had seized up, so we left it in storage in standby mode. Don't know what code will access it. It could be it's voice activated for all we know. We put the protocol droid to work in maintenance, sorting the mining droid comm routines and updating the recognition sensors. And to shut him up. When the survivor recovers, hopefully we can get him off this station before there's a... Trouble between the work shifts. Word of the Jedi leaked out and the miners aren't sure what to do with him. Quarter's mining crew wanted us to collect the credits for the bounty the Exchange has on Jedi, but I put a stop to that. We're contacting Telos to get the Republic records on the Jedi, but nobody will know word from the Republic. But I've sent out a broadcom transmission for records on this Ebon Hawk. One of the miners said it used to be a smuggling vessel. Accidents are making the miners restless. The droid behavior course must be under... 2 miners were drilled by a droid's mining laser, and those blasts in the ventilation tunnels nearly caused the whole facility.
A lot of cargo from the Jedi's freighter is being stored in the secure cargo hold until we can pass it through the quarantine checks. And as requested, all the programming spikes the security office... Who ordered the mining droids to repair that Jedi's freighter? I come in here off the work shift and 3 of them are... Did I miss something? Is somebody planning a trip? Because orders were that the hangar was to be locked down. I don't... It's not like that, considering this latest... If anyone sends command... Looks like those droids got the vessel working again, even with all the damage it had taken. The maintenance officer still won't admit ordering them to fix it, though. Regardless, still no luck accessing the navicomputer. If so, that ship isn't going anywhere, unless we rip out the navicomputer and put in a new one. The only reason someone would lock their navicomputer is to hide their astrogation charts. Someone didn't want us to know where that only...
So is that stupid droid of yours gonna come through? Well, I'm beginning to think I was a little better off in my... Hey, what do you know? A little cargo cylinder came... If he got the turbo lifts working, then we should have a clear run to the hangar. Wait. Don't tell me you're taking that hatch down into the mining tunnels. Are you? That explosion I heard came from below. There's probably nothing down there except superheated rock and collapsed blast... You're either really brave or really crazy. Or both. Alright, I'll try to monitor things from up here. Now be careful. The only thing moving down there is likely to be mining droids, so don't be playing hero too hard. Not that I care what happens to you. I'll keep the comm link open. I may be able to guide you through the tunnels from up here. Don't know if the signal will hold if you get too deep, though. Found anything?
Emergency lockdown is in effect. Turbolifts have been sealed to contain the explosive. Emergency lockdown is in effect. Turbolifts have been
interference down there, probably caused by that explosion. Still, it looks like there's a route down to the Paragas fuel depot. If the passages haven't collapsed, that explosion knocked out most of the sensors. There should be an emergency crate in the next room. Watch yourself. There's a lot of droid broadcasts in that area, but I can't pin them down. Will do. naked Jedi thing was wearing a little thin. But there may be some survey gear and a safety harness inside the crate, too. The miners wear them when staking claims on the survey gear is... Yeah, it's like a military... It won't last... Just equip it on your... You could, if you have the skill in a stealth field generator. These droids rely on thermal sensors. The good thing is, that Well, these are construction models. They shoot like a moisture farmer militia, since they rely on range and close. Yeah, it's possible some of the droid models... You can... If they act... There's gotta be some central Watch out. If you can find a mining energy... Watch where you step. If you have any skill... If you... If you... so, the central droid controller should be somewhere nearby. Keep an eye out for it. I'm picking up a lot of droids. If you still have a mining energy shield, I'd equip it and switch it on. Sure. If you have a... Sure.
Everybody here?
What's up, Kurta? We're supposed to be sinking fuel siphons into the 3218 asteroid shelf right now.
Forget the siphons. Malachor 5? So he's one of the survivors. Not a survivor, idiot. He's one of the Jedi from...
If he's one of the Jedi, hell, we can't have him walking around here. I don't know what he'll do.
I thought all the Jedi were wiped out in the Civil War, weren't they?
Guess they missed one. But it gets better.
What? You want to sell the Jedi?
Look, you know how big... Gorda, there's... Then we'll improvise.
picking up some strain. The containment fields in the mining tunnels are shutting down. You need to get out of there before they vent fuel to the surface of the asteroid through the tunnels. I may be able to keep it contained until you get the turbo lift to the fuel depot, but not for much. I'm locking down the turbo lift to the If you've got anything left to do down there...
It is a pleasure to see you alive, Master, provided my receptors are not off focus. Answer. I am a survivor of the Harbinger, just as you were, Master. With the unexpected termination of my previous Master, you are the only organic which I may now... Answer. The captain of the Harbinger, Master. I was in transit to Telos to facilitate communications and terminate hostilities. However... Irritated answer. Oh, Master, it is such a long, dull story, and not terribly relevant to... Hesitant explanation. That has been the subject of considerable discussion since our arrival here, Master. Many have attempted to claim you. I was crudely interrogated concerning our brief history together on board the Harbinger, before its communications weapon. Speculation. It is possible you were incapacitated and locked in the well-shielded cargo compartment as the Harbinger... It appears your cargo compartment... I, too. Evaluate... And when... Addendum. It does seem odd that such a small vessel has a high probability of attracting the attention of... Explanation. I believe it was a smuggler's vessel by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Speculation. As to its purpose, I do not know. Perhaps it was always its intention to play dead, then kidnap you. Clarification. By bounty, I refer to your life, Master. It would pain me to see you damaged in any way. That is why the arrival of this Ebon Hawk. Apology. Explanation. Despite my market value, Master, the miners were far more interested in you. It did not take long for me to ascertain the reason for this. While an HK protocol droid is a valuable piece of property, Jedi are worth much more in certain exclusive markets across painful admission. I was forced to remind myself it was not due to a failing of my model or function, but because you were a Jedi. Surprised answer. Why, I told them, Master. You are the exiled Jedi who served with Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, are you not? I hope all that has happened has not been the result of a miscommunication. If so, then the problem lies with the core word databases, which are notoriously spotty. Indignant exclamation. Master, I am only a protocol droid, but it is part of my function to know such information and relay it to any interested parties in the interests of terminating any potential... Quick clarification. Apparently my vocabulator has suffered some damage, Master. I meant terminating any potential hostility. Answer. All that has happened has been because they believe you to be a Jedi Master. They debated what to do with you as you lay unconscious in the medical bay. One group seemed intent on selling you as property. The other group... 3 standard hours after the division between the miners became apparent, accidents began to occur throughout the... These accidents coincided with the degradation of the mine. Of course. Hesitant answer. A T3 utility droid would be a common sight in this facility. It is indeed curious that I have not... However, I feel I must inform you that, droid prejudice aside, T3 models exhibit excessive individualism when not routinely memory wiped. This individualism can become such a nuisance that even a droid such as myself is tempted to reduce them to their base components, if not crushed. But enough of my seemingly irrelevant tangent. Where did you leave the droid, Master? That would... Answer. Then that would explain why such a T3 unit isn't here, Master. Of course. Pitying answer. Oh, that is unfortunate, Master. The hangar is sealed behind a container. Answer. Only the Paragus administrator. If he hasn't already been murdered in an unfortunate accident, then he is trapped in the dormitory section. Apology. Unfortunately, communication, if everything... Theory. You could walk across the surface of the asteroid to the dormitory airlock, but such a route would be extremely hazardous, and I do not wish to see you damaged. Warning, Master. Continued exploration of this facility may place you in unnecessary... I encourage you to return to the medical bay and wait for retrieval from a vessel that is no doubt on the way, even as we can... Weary resignation. Very well, Master, but there is very little... Correction. Oh, I already possess the code, Master, but I am afraid that it will do you no good. Condescending explanation. Master, the console governing the droid maintenance area and the airlock is voice-printed. Conjecture. I suspect once he realized something was wrong in the facility, he voice-locked the droid bay functions. A prudent measure, but in the end... Explanation. Yes, Master. Many consoles have voice recognition sensors. Condescending explanation. Oh, yes, Master. The code is Maintenance Control Voice Print ID R1B5. Answer. Master, you... Of course. Answer. That is all that remains of the maintenance officer, Master. At the end, he was quite incoherent from the pain and attempts to facilitate communication. I heard his dying screams as the droids he tended turned on him. My... Recitation? Oh, yes, Master. The record of his last moments were...
5 droids, burning through the outer door. They're forcing their way into the bay. Please, someone that... Oh no, they're through! Oh, my leg! They're burning through my leg! Oh, stop! Stop, please!
Addendum. His remaining attempts at communication are variations in Decibel, Master, ranging from frenzied... Objection. Master, to commit such an act would be in violation of the ethics programming most droids are believed to possess. I am afraid that... Proud answer. Master, I believe my book. A recitation. Wait, there. Alarmed objection. I was merely... Confused query. And proud and play and irritated arrest there. Greeting.
Finish the sonic imprint sensor prototype for the mining droids. Everyone knows they need an up. The sensor should allow me to issue voice and keep. Finish my examination of the droids from the Ebonhawk freighter. The protocol droid. Still, there's been some Been speaking to the protocol droid about the Jedi in Medbay. I thought they'd all gone away or been. The droid told me that his master's the only Jedi. That would have meant that the Jedi served under Revan for a time. That can't be good. Everyone knows. Been too busy to. Corda said the secure. I mentioned when the dock officer reported the droids. Someone ordered them. If anyone tries that again, they won't be able to do it from this terminal. The maintenance check on the security and I think security. When the dock officer, someone ordered. If anyone tries that again, they won't be able to do it from this terminal unless I let them. The maintenance check on the security. I can't help. I think. Finish this.
Found it? Yeah. Yeah, well, what? Look, I could have let... You know what? I don't trust... So before you start accusing... They are still... They're made... If they want... You mean like they did? Yeah. Because... Look, you know... So... Voice... There's ways to beat voice prints, though. If you can get samples of his voice, you know, and maybe there's That's a start. Yeah. Voice. So they're... If they...
Tracked at the freighter. Now, he's...
So,
Sir.
what? You,
Sir.
Huh?
Yes.
Kitty.
Emergency lockdown is in effect.
Yes? I do not know. Indeed, it would... And so... Ah, it may be... We see... Then hope...
So,
Sir.
what? You,
Sir.
Huh? So,
Yes.
Kitty.
Found anything?
dock off.
That's about time. I lost your signal after you left the mining tunnels.
Except I'm picking you up on the
Huh? You're crazy, even for a What little is left of the facility... They're I can't. Now what now? I don't believe this. There's a ship coming in, sending a docking code. I have a bad feeling about this.
You You